Chase Lee Hockey with the Blue Futon, and I saw a double feature tonight, and this one is Paws of Fury. Is it Paws of Fury? Yeah, Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. Kind of just stops there. But should you follow Hank into battle? But he's a dog in a cat's world. Let's find out. So Paws of Fury, what's it about? It's a very simple premise. If you've seen Blazing Saddles, you've seen this movie. So they take basically the Blazing Saddles R-rated storyline and turn it into a PG cartoon movie with, you know, the black sheriff being the dog, and then the town folk being the cats. So pooches and another P word, they kind of have that joke in this as well. So did I like this movie? Okay, first off, I went into this movie thinking I was going to hate it. I saw the trailer multiple times, and I'm like, I'm not laughing at all. This isn't funny. It's still not a funny movie, but it is somewhat harmless movie that I think kids and adults could have some fun with, but I still was disappointed with the overall experience. So with that, I will give the positives of the movie first. So one of the positives, I'll say it is an all-star cast with Samuel Jackson, Michael Cera, Michelle Yeoh, Fluffy. You have a bunch of people in this movie, so like, oh yeah, I could see how it could be good for that. Even though Ricky Gervais, I feel like it was a miscast with what I was seeing on screen, the character and his voice. For some reason, that one just didn't match for what I was just like mentally. I was like, something is not right here. And I'm just like, I can't put my finger on it. Also, some of the puns as well as some of the humor, I wouldn't say lands, but it did give me a smile on my face. I never laughed out loud. I mean, there's fart jokes, there's puns, there's talking to the camera, there's breaking the fourth wall. So some of them does work, but then some of it doesn't work at the same time. Because you're like, okay, what are we trying to do here? It's like, what's the overall goal of this movie? And I think that's my biggest fault of this movie is I don't know what it was trying to do. So that's really all I can say about the positive. I thought the voice acting was good, and it is kind of a harmless movie for kids and adults. So with that, like I said, too many puns, too many breaking the fourth wall. And it was just like, when are we going to stop? And like I said, the humor just was so bland for me. You've seen it a million times before. And it was like, do something, pun, do something, pun, do something, pun, do something, pun. And you're like, okay, what are we trying to do here? And you could totally tell the dialogue was trying to like not say the N word and put the word dog in it. And I understand what they're trying to do because it literally is Blazing Saddles story put into a cartoon movie. So when you've seen Blazing Saddles, which I wonder how many people have seen it, you're just like, you get the references, and I did get a little bit of a chuckle. I guess you could say as a positive as well. It's like, yeah, I see that little reference, and that's cute and funny, but the overall circle of the movie, I'll put it that way, the overall plot of the movie just doesn't work for me. It's a kid's movie. The animation wasn't the greatest. I think this was made for $45 million. Paramount bought it for 10, and I think it's going to make maybe $7 million this weekend because tonight there's three people in the theater. So it wasn't that packed compared to Crawdads. Crawdads was completely sold out for the night. So it's going to be a really short review because I don't know what else to say about this movie. The animation was all right. The story was all right. You've seen it before, even in animation story, as well as Blazing Saddles. I mean, the voice acting is good. But, I mean, I saw the movie, and I exited the movie going, yeah, that's a movie, but I don't know if I would ever watch this again. Yeah, maybe because I'm in the 30s. You're like, okay, but there are cartoon movies where I could continue watching as my age. Toy Story, How to Train Your Dragon. There's stuff out there. Heck, I would even watch Turning Red again because it had some, like, fun appeal to it. This, there was no appeal. It was just almost like wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. And that's what I can best say about this movie. So, Paws of Fury will receive a 2 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 40%. So, see the critics' news scores gave this one. So, you have the critics a 61% with 18 of them. Audience score, there's none yet with 50 plus. So, when I edit this movie, I bet you those numbers are going to change. I am curious about the critics are saying. One gives it an F. Wow, morally fucked basically is what it means. I can't even say. 1 out of 4. But there are some positives. So either people that are like hating it, hate it. and people that are liking it are like it. Oh wait, what's this? 1 out of 4. Paramount's limp animated remake actually triggers new stereotypes in the service of trying to expose racism for pre-teen audience. Okay, I didn't think it was like that. Racism for preteens. It was more of a get-together story, kind of like Blazing Saddle was. It's like, it's time to look at who's on the inside and on the outside. Is that racism nowadays? I don't know. I think people knew it was Blazing Saddles, and in today's day and age, people are going to hate that movie. They're like, oh, it's one of the worst movies ever, even though Mel Brooks is in this as well as this movie. So, like I said, I just expected if it needs to be funny. I laughed a little bit on Minions. I laughed a little bit on Turning Red. There were some good jokes in Lightyear, even though that really wasn't a jokey movie. This one, I mean, it's harmless to me. It's harmless, but it does have a good message. Could I give it a 50%? Sure, but I'm going to stick with my 40. So anyway, 61, 40, or no audience score yet. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think is Butantopia, you Butonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And sorry if this review kind of sucks. I just don't know what to say about this movie. It's an animated movie with a somewhat good message.